Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another one of my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie Richardson, and I'll be your guide for today. So today we are doing the fun tarot day. Tuesday mornings I do this, and I give free CHATBAR readings later on after the general. So I am a seer, and that means that I have seen many things all my life. My mum had exactly the same gift where she could see into different frequencies and different dimensions, and she didn't really like it. So she put a stop to it, and she also put a stop to me until I left home. And then, although I did have UFO experiences when I was a kid, and then when I left home, the floodgate just opened up without me even trying. So I ended up seeing into different dimensions, being given a lot of messages, and it wasn't until I started to take the reins to that gift and ask what I wanted to know. And then I started getting deeper and deeper down rabbit holes of what reality was all about and so forth. I'm also a channeler now. So with all the beings that I've seen throughout my life, I ended up, now I can channel through many different frequencies. So I'm very lucky in that respect. It's been a very tough journey though. Self-acceptance in such a conditioned world with such a unique gift has been a big thing. So I also do intuitive readings and intuitive counseling readings. So if you're keen to get in touch with your soul, figure out where your blocks are, where you're going, what can help you, then go on my website, which is down below, and you can have a one-on-one reading with me. But you'll see in a minute, well, not in a minute, in half an hour, when I do the free CHATBAR readings, what I'm like when I read for a moment anyway. So let's get into this general. Also, the class that we had, the Interdimensional Gateway class that we had last week, holy crap, that was so cool. We did so good. I just poured out the information. I had a lot of information on the pineal gland and our gateway into different frequencies, because that's what I'm all about, right? So that was actually one of the biggest questions I asked my guides, is potential of humanity, and that's where they led me to. So really exciting. Hey, in the now, good to see you. Morning here over in Australia, and the sun has just risen. It's going to be a beautiful day here in Australia, I think. It's getting a little colder now. We're going into winter. So if you're interested in those bi-weekly classes, I have had a few people ask me if they can have the past classes, which are all different subjects: telepathy, telekinesis, and so forth. And so if you're interested in a past class, it costs $20 the same. You just get a link, and then I will give you the class. So yeah, I've got to set that up a little bit better, but at the moment that's doable. But yeah, bi-weekly classes. If you can't make it to the actual class, I'll give you the link, but it still costs $20. Let's get into this general reading at the moment. Now, the energies that I'm feeling at the moment is self-acceptance is a really big thing. Self-acceptance. Accepting life as it is. Don't try to change. Don't try to when we start to try with our logical mind to change something, that's when we get deeper into the focus of the thing we want to change, and we end up creating more of a problem, where if we don't try to change and we allow or we accept what's happening and we learn from it as it comes to us, then we can step into this self-acceptance. And when you step into self-acceptance, you are stepping into living in the moment. And when you live in the moment, you can shift whatever you desire just through your intention, focusing in on what you want. And this is the big lesson for humanity at the moment, and also realizing that we've had our attention taken away from us and used as propaganda for those that were of wealth. And so it's time for us to take our reins back and refocus into what we, and realign ourselves into what we really truly know we deserve. And that's another thing. Self-talk is coming up at the moment. They're telling me self-talk. Be aware of how you're talking to yourself in a major way at the moment. If you do find yourself, catch yourself getting down or up you, up yourself. That sounds funny. If you do find yourself getting down on yourself, then stop. Just say stop, and then take a deep breath and realign yourself with, okay, if I'm saying that to me, then I'm saying it to source energy, because I am source energy going on a journey. So why would I want to tell source energy that? So I'm not saying that to myself anymore. Realign yourself with the fact that you are important. If you are here, you are important. There's a great emphasis on that at the moment. Each and every one of us has a chance to have an adventure through this life, through this avatar, through this body, without being worrying about others controlling or being in relationships that are controlling and so forth. Whoa, that just flew out. I like that. So we'll take those 2 cards. These cards that I'm using at the moment are the Druid Craft Tarot deck. They're really big, so they're actually quite hard to shuffle. I find the big ones hard to shuffle. So I just thought I'd channel while I'm shuffling instead. Hey, Sasha, good to see you. Okay. Yeah, I was a bit earlier this morning. Usually I start at 7, but I'm trying to get this in before I take my daughter to the train station. So most people turn up around 7. See what else we've got here. It's coming in. Or should I just read those 2? You can read those 2. Okay, we'll read these 2. Okay, so we have the 9 of Cups has come in. Look at him. He's sitting at the table. He's very proud of himself. He's got some of his winnings coming in. Like he's starting to go, I can actually take a breather now. So this week forward, we can start to take a breath. We've done some work. We've done some shadow work. We've peeled away a few layers. We've realized where we were before and where we are now, that we can actually take a breath and move into something new. And the card that came in with it was the Magician card. So the Magician card is somebody who's no longer listening to the monkey mind. He is using or utilizing all the tools that he has within himself, the intuition, the imagination, the stepping into the great unknown, they're saying, stepping into the great unknown with power and understanding of who you are. That's important at the moment. And when we do that, we are commanding or co-creating and commanding our reality to be such that we know we truly deserve, which is the 9 of Cups again. So there's this kind of a feeling to me that there's a breather coming up where even though we're starting to understand the alignments of certain things and not get down on everything as it comes up. We're in I know that a couple of astrology things, we're in Mercury retrograde at the moment, and everyone goes, Mercury retrograde. But actually, to me, it is because it's ruling the mind, and I'm Virgo ×5, so Mercury rules me in a great way. That's why I've had to learn how to chill my mind. That's why my guides really got me to learn to still my mind and come into the moment. And the mind is all about outward communication. And so when we learn to recognize that our mind does have a say, but not too much of a say. In other words, it has a say in how to ground things, but it doesn't have a say in how to create something completely new. Put it in its place and use it as a tool, as the magician would, to ground something, to acknowledge that something that you imagine to be, there could be a possibility that you could bring that in. And even though it doesn't exist at the moment in this reality through humanity's consciousness, you might be a wave shower that could bring this in. So these sort of things are going to come up for those that have done the work, the shadow work, and prosperity, they're telling me, is coming up, where prosperity is showing up as well. So that's really fun. Plenty of fish. There's don't waste it. Use it for the advantage of building what you want to ground into this reality through that your imagination or your passion or your heart's desire has really wanted here. So yeah. Hey, Viking 17, good. From Ohio. I've been to Ohio. That's where I met Elder over there that lived in Ohio. I think she's now the Grand Canyon now, though. She's moved. Hi, Paula. Hey, Cherie. Good to see you guys. Anytime I try to enter Star Cities, my comments get deleted. I don't know what that's about. Okay. Well, maybe you were replying to, I know you suggested Star Cities could be what I was seeing in my channeling the other day. Let's get into, I'll better focus on what I'm doing though. Tarot, any more tarot from the Druids? The Druids cards? Is there any more? Otherwise I will. No, I think we will do. They are very hard cards to shuffle. Because they're hard, I hold them tighter. And because I hold them tighter, then it's half of them to flick out. And mind you, these ones are flicking out. So we have the Two of Wands again. And that has been coming up in readings in a great way. In other words, decisions or understanding of what decisions, not just decisions, how are we going to play this game? We've been taught one way. We've been taught to logify everything, bring the logic into understanding everything's outside of us. It's not how we feel. Things outside of us is going to make us feel certain ways. Certain people outside of us are going to make us feel certain ways. We are victim to this world. That is all logic and all the program that was poured over us. When that logic become too bigger than life. So how are we going to play this game? Are we going to slowly start to let that go? Because it's not working. It hasn't worked. It just brings you into circles. It keeps repeating, bringing up the past, repeating it into the future, regurgitated life that never shifts into the imagination and expands into something new. So do we want to keep on doing this? Do we want to keep on switching up left brain, right brain, feminine side, masculine side? Are we going to use them to work together? In the center, he's standing with the world in his hands. Like the world, to me, is in the center of all of this. It's almost representing the pineal gland, which I was talking about in a great way. All the messages they gave me in the last class. So, there is this whole new game that's going to be explored. It's like we're opening up a part of our brain again, or a part of our humanity's makeup body that has been asleep for a very long time. And to bring that into our reality, it can only be brought in through the love of self and balance. So it shifts our game completely. Underneath that card, this one flicked out, death. Wow. So definitely the end of the ego, and it's not end of the ego. Ego to me is the same as the logical brain. It is something that's just been a little bit out of balance, or maybe a lot in some cases. Ego will always be present with us because it brings us into this reality. It gives us a separated story where we can interact with each other. If we were just in the right hemisphere only, and that's it, we would we wouldn't have a separated reality. We would be recognizing ourselves just as one, just as God's source energy. And then the separated reality would be almost like we're living in a dream, where time is all over the show, and sometimes we feel like we're one person, and then another person comes in and they represent the same person and all that. You know how you dream and you think, oh, I feel like that was my ex-boyfriend, but it didn't look like him, that sort of thing. Where if we've got both working together, we've got both of our hemispheres working well together, then we end up grounding the imagination that's coming through, or we ground where we really want to go through the logic saying yes, the ego saying yes, this can be done. I agree with my right hemisphere now, and I'm going to work together to see how I can ground this. So the energies at the moment is learning to choose what parts of your life do you want to shift, what parts of your life do you want to just let go of and have the death of, and what parts do you want to grab and ground. But the logic will always have to say yes to it before it becomes, because it's an agreement to ground. And then the universe starts to bend to you rather than you trying to bend to the universe. If you only go roll through your logical brain, logical mind, then you're trying to force the universe to work for you. You're trying to force the universe into a certain position that it looks like from the outside that it's you are. Yeah, that you want it to bend to you. You want the universe to bend to you. You want to stand in your own sovereign self. And I'm also channeling at the moment, so they're like telling me you want to stand in your own sovereign self so that your energy is vastly connected, left and right hemisphere together, and saying, right, this isn't working. What do we need to shift? I'm imagining something different. Oh my gosh, I'm so passionate about that. That'd be so cool if that could happen in my life. Logical brain comes in. I don't know if you're going to be able to do that. You're not good enough for that. Okay, right hemisphere. What do we need to do to actually ground this? Well, we need to get this degree, or we need to get to know a little bit more knowledge on this. Okay, logical brain goes, well, we'll do it bit by bit. Let's do it together. And so you start to like move through your right hemisphere into your left, agreeing, and then your right hemisphere comes in. Oh, well, that didn't really work. Shall we try something new? Don't get down on yourself. It's saying, don't get down on yourself. Just keep moving forward. Just keep on moving forward until something really fits and you really feel comfortable with who you are. Don't move into uncomfortableness unless Move into uncomfortableness only if you understand it's coming from only your logical brain and you need to let that go. Oh, okay, I see what they're saying. They're saying that let the logical brain go. If it comes into uncomfortableness, sit with it in this moment, and then once another step will form to say what you could do that's still coming from a feeling of goodness, a feeling of comfortableness. And then you do that one little step, ground that one little step, and then your logical brain will go, oh, wow, I can actually move towards that goal still. I am moving towards that goal in a small, minute way. It doesn't matter how. A change of thought, the way that you speak to other people, how you get up in the morning. You want to shift things. They want us to start to shift how our reality is, grounding it. I hope I'm making sense here. Okay, so we have the Wheel of Fortune as well. So we're definitely coming through one cycle and opening up the door to a whole other cycle. And with that, fortune comes, because when you start to let go of a story that's not serving you anymore, e.g. the logical mind and what it's been holding on and saying that this is the only way to go, and you let it go enough to let the intuition come in, then you change your daily routine a little bit, and then you start to see, oh wow, this is actually feeling comfortable, and I'm still moving towards my dream. I'm still grounding my dream. I feel like I'm a little all over the show with everybody. 9 of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck as well, so that's a really good sign. Look, we've got the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Pentacles here. We are literally moving into an abundant world where we're feeling very satisfied with ourselves, but we're needing to ground it, and we need to not blame anyone outside ourselves through this transition. We just look specifically at our life and how we're moving through it. How do you feel about yourself in every given moment? Means a lot, because it's your universe that you're creating, and when you change your universe from your perspective, then everything starts to fall into place. That's why they're saying that the universe will bend to you. Yeah, I'm trying to make more sense out of what they're bringing up. Okay, Jonar. I do free chat bar readings after this general reading, just to let everyone know that's new here. And that's when I finish this general reading. So I'll open the chat bar reading then, and then let you know, and you can just say yes, please, then when I open it up. And then I will read for you. Okay, here we go. Look at this, guys. How cool is this? The 10 of Pentacles. We do have these gifts coming our way, but we're literally creating them, because each and every one of us has a different perception of what gifts are. Some people will say a gift for me would be that I'm free to travel the world with nothing on my back, and I just feel really secure in who I am. Some would say that they live in a beautiful house with some land and so forth. So no right, no wrong, no judging, nothing. Just your God self coming through, your soul coming through, connecting and saying what's going to make you feel secure and happy in this world and abundant in this world, and slowly but surely shift your reality to be focusing in on that, and then asking the logic to ground it. How can we ground that? What steps can we make? Why are you afraid, logic? Why are you afraid that this is going to work? That sort of thing. Ask those sort of questions as well. It's like because we literally have 2 different personalities within our brain, and it's masculine and feminine within ourselves, learning to get along, and then the magic will start happening, because when they get along, the pineal gland can open up, and that's when we step into some real magic stuff that has been closed off. The powers to be gave us fluoride, fed us fluoride, which totally crystallized over the little micro crystals of it. Stay away from that stuff. It's not good for you. Let's see what else we've got coming up at the moment. But big shifts moving towards a better outcome. King of Pentacles. This is all about abundance. Look at this. 10 of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles is someone who really, he knows who he is in the abundant world. He is a giver and receiver, and he allows life to. He opens himself up to many opportunities through his own self-support. So the more that you support yourself and who you are, and say, you know what, if I've got this passion or desire that's inside of me that really wants to come out, and I'm so excited if it did, wow, that would be an awesome life. I would feel so good about that. That would make me feel so happy. Then that is deserving, that is self-deserving. Just you feeling that way, just you feeling that heart's desire inside of you is self-deserving, and don't you let anyone else tell you that it's not. And then it's just a matter of you working together with your logical mind to ground it into this reality, little bit by little bit. You know, we want to have stability here. We want to ground it with stability, so it's a long-term thing, so that we can show the world things can be done, magic can be pulled in, things can be done. I'm literally doing that myself. Started my own classes up a couple of months ago, and that's what I'm doing, little bit by little. But I'm only chewing off the bits that make me feel absolutely comfortable in my life, because I want my life to be happy while I'm going on this adventure, while I'm moving through this adventure. Okay, so we have the nine of swords is coming up as well. So here we are in the middle of the night, and we're waking up, and we have all these, oh my God, what if coming up. And why can't I just, my mind, it's just keeps showing up for me. And then if you really look at it carefully, they're saying to me, if you analyze that careful enough, a week or two ago, you would have had another mind thought come up that was whirling around in your head over and over. And then you got through it and you cleared it. And now you've got another one coming up. It's just replacing something that's already been cleared, that like a space in your head that was cleared a few weeks ago, right? What say this time when you clear it, when you face and you clear it and you say, okay, I can see that I can let this go. I don't need to have this in my life anymore. Why am I bringing this up? I'm actually creating more problems out of thinking of this problem happening. I'm creating the problem itself by being subjecting people outside of me to my own fears. Once you let that go, you instead allow the space to be filled with your imagination. Allow the space that you let go, your logical mind let go of, and then all of a sudden you go to space. You don't want to fill it with more hoo-ha of what can go wrong. You want to fill it with what can go right. Where do I want to focus? Where do I want to imagine? What do I want to put my energy into that can go right? We have literally been programmed from school and everything to only focus on what can go wrong, and that's a big shift in the psychology of humanity's wellness. If you are a scientist and you rig somebody up, most people that you rig up to see what part of the brain's going to be working more, it's the logical brain that's working more. It's out of balance, and that is just due to the programming that we've been pulled into, of we have to compete with everyone outside of us is better than us, we are victim to everyone outside of us. It's got nothing to do with everyone outside. There's a whole other game that we need to step into and realize that we're shifting the game from the inside out, and there's no more blame but how you feel about yourself, and shifting you. Hi, Bernie. Good to see you. And Dean, good to see you. So I give the universe permission to move in my favour. I like that Viking. So I also have, I'm going to pick an Alice in Wonderland card too as well. Let's go into Alice in Wonderland. Another big deck though. Let's see if one of them falls out. So this is my Alice in Wonderland card box, if anyone's keen to get those. That's a Lucy Cavendish tarot. She has amazing artwork. I think she was a witch in a past life, or someone closer to holding the codes of the tarot anyway. Many past lives, I think she's been a witch. Okay, so we've got a couple that's come out. We have growing up. Okay, wanting to grow and experience, rejection of perpetual youth, wanting to grow and experience. Isn't this just what I just spoke about? Like when we were kids, we were programmed, right? Rejection of perpetual youth, rejection of how you were brought up, and that's how I'm reading it anyway. Rejection of what didn't serve you as you were being programmed into this reality. It was only serving a small percentage at the top of the pyramid, right? It wasn't serving you at all. wanting to grow and experience. So yeah, this is a card pretty much speaking of what I just said. Changed in the night. You have changed quickly. And I really feel it fell on top of this card. I really feel it goes with that Nine of Swords. Like you can change if you can control your mind in the worst of moments and just go, take it a deep breath, and I'm not thinking of that negative thought anymore. I don't know 100% if it's going to come true. I'm just making all this stuff up in my head because I'm trying to find a way out. But the only way out is to let it go, because the more you focus in on it, the more you bring it into your reality, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. If you haven't noticed, if you say to yourself, I wish I wouldn't get angry at that person or my kid or whatever anymore, the more you focus in on it, the bigger the problem gets, right? Just gets bigger and bigger. Thanks, Jay Lizard. Thanks for that. Okay. And so that's the messages in there. And the other one that I wanted to try, which I haven't tried much, is the Crystal Spirit Box. So these are crystal cards that I have. Let's see what the crystals say for the energy to help us ascend into these higher vibrations. What message do you have? They're not easy to shuffle either. Look how big they are. Okay. So we have motivation, the card of motivation. Carnelian. Also, this carnelian is an absolutely perfect crystal. I think I might have one in here. I usually do. Yeah, I think that's carnelian. So carnelian is a really good crystal to hold when you're angry or you're frustrated. It can calm you down enough, literally, to find to turn the anger into motivation, to turn the anger into something that you can use, like energy expanded, energy used, right, is energy used, whether it's angry or not. And some of us feel that if you don't get angry, you're not heard, or if you don't get angry, if you don't get angry, then you're not heard, and that sort of thing. Or if you don't get angry, then how are you going to shift this problem, that sort of thing. But if we can shift our anger into motivation, then we have a lot more energy within us, and it's clarity. It comes through clarity, and then we don't make the big mistakes either, because anger is trying to control something outside of us that we cannot control, because we can't control it within us. And you can never control anything outside of you anyway. It comes from how you control yourself on the inner self, and then everything else is reflected to you. So it's more to do with people who get angry. They are literally trying to force their control in on somebody, but it's always a fleeting experience. Like they might win for that moment, but then they really feel crap afterwards, and they end up having other issues come up and bigger problems come up, because it's got no stability in anger. Doesn't have a stability in creation. Motivation does. So good lesson there from the crystals. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I just want to pick a couple more, and then we will go on to the free chat bar reading. Okay. It's interesting too, and this magician card that came out to begin with, the rooster is really coming up, and I got a very good message about the rooster just before I met. I've been through a lot of narcissistic relationships and stuff, and just before I met my beautiful man, I had a dream of a rooster crowing. And that's the masculine energy coming in. So the masculine energy is the grounder. They're the ones that actually bring, create, ground everything, build things, with their hands, that sort of thing. So I'm really feeling that at the moment. Our logic, even though it's been told to shush when it comes to creating the next step, no, you don't have that. You don't have that ability to create the next step. The feminine does, the intuition, the imagination, the connection to the soul does. But you have the amazing ability to figure out how to work in this world, in this outside world, what works with our hands and actions, and what actions to take. So when we align with that, we are giving, it's kind of like they're showing me telling a little kid off that's been naughty or taking, been trying to overpower everyone in a classroom, but then saying, you have great leadership ability. But a leader will always allow somebody else. That leader knows when somebody else has something of benefit to the group, and a leader will always bring those people forward to be the leader in that moment. And so they might be playing out because they're trying to control everything, everyone, because they have this leadership quality. And this is the same with our logical brain. It's like, we're all kind of running in split personality here. We need to combine our personalities within ourselves to acknowledge all sides of ourselves as benefit. Okay, what else? So we just got talent guides, spirit mentors, and teachers. So be aware too. They're telling me that there's many others that are watching, overlooking us at the moment through this amazing time. We have a lot of help in the spiritual world, and they show up in signs, messages, repeating numbers, intuitive prompts. In other words, them whispering in your mind, such and such is going to call you, and then they call you. I thought that, but it's literally you channeling through them their information or their wisdom to say that that's going to happen as well. Or so they are also coming in your dreams. They want to prepare you. They're helping you prepare. You aren't alone in this game. There is huge help from both sides. When we do start to connect to our intuition, we will connect more and more and more to them. But also when we start to ground this, our soul tribe or our members of that are aligned with our uniqueness and the passion, the desires that we want, will be coming in as real people, to work together. So there's big changes happening with that too. Okay, let's get into these free chat bar readings. Now, so if you would like a free chat bar reading, just say, yes, please, and I will use my tarot, I think. I could use Osho cards too. Okay, Paula. Well, that card just flipped out for you, so I'm just going to take that. As soon as I said your name, it flipped out. So this card has given me the sense that even though everybody these days just can't stand that word patience, right? But the reason why things might be moving a little slow for you is because they want it's like your soul and yourself knows that you want this to be stable for the rest of your life. So if you feel like, oh God, why is it taking so long? I know within myself I have that feeling a lot sometimes, and then they're telling me the same thing as what they're telling you, the same thing as what they tell me. You are creating a stable bottom of your bucket, and that will serve you for the rest of your life. And it is necessary for you to move through these energies with delight and joy, and prosperity will come. It will come, but just it's not like we have to sit and be patient and go, oh, God, I'm not allowed to, I just have to wait. It's like move through your life through the joy of yourself. Step into that how you can each moment of the day, trusting that this is building a great stability for you. So that's for you, Paula. Okay, so we have, I'll just choose whoever I feel at the moment. JDS, well, 2 cards just flew out for you, JDS. Okay, so we have 1 card was in reverse, which is the 2 of Pentacles. So that might be something like this is a decision card, and juggling how do I move through my next step? Where do I really want to go with this? They're telling that it came out with the Knight of Wands. Once you make a decision, oh, wow, Dragonfly just came in my head big time. And that was a really big lesson for me. So I actually was in a chaotic mind saying, where do I go next? What do I do next? What decision should I take? I'm just kind of stuck. And I had this powerful dream where I walked through a temple because I followed a dragonfly, massive golden dragonfly, into this temple. The very next day, I had something for real knocking on my screen door, and it was there all day. But we had a hornet's nest up above, and I thought it was just a hornet trying to get in it through our screen door. I opened the door and I went outside to bring out the washing, and it whacked me in the back of my head. And then my daughter came up and said, there's a message for you on the phone. And when she said, there's a message for you at the screen door, she said, oh, wow, look at this, Mum. And it had flown back and it was still banging on the door. It'd been there for like hours, this massive dragonfly. And I'm like, you're kidding me. I dreamt of a dragonfly. And it flipped upside down, because dragonflies can move backwards, forwards, sideways, up, everywhere. And then it flipped upside down, hovered over my hand, and then it flew off. And it was teaching me, choose a path. Choose any path and do it 100%, and it will come in real fast. Just choose a path and stick to it, and it will come in fast. So that's the message for you, JDS. Okay, Viking 17. Viking 17. We have the Empress is coming up for you, Viking 17. So you're finally taking back your feminine power of who you are, and nurturing that side of yourself so much that you're trusting the game more. You're trusting, or you will be in this next phase of your life, trusting that you don't need to push, you don't need to force anything. It will come to you. You are becoming a magnet for your next quest. They literally are saying the word quest, and you are the magnet for that, because you're stepping into it. When you see yourself as that, you will step into it, and then those that are in alignment with that will just magnetize to you. The more you try to force something to happen, the more I feel you stagnating. And so there is a quest developing through self awareness and self support. Okay, Jay Lizard, thank you so much for that little donation. I really appreciate that, Jay Lizard. Okay, so there's one card coming out. I'll just pick one more for you. Just feels right. Oh, do we need that many? Don't know. So we had the Six of Chalice that came up for you. Excuse me. So, okay, I'm just asking a question because this card is my past life card. Um, oh, it's interesting. Okay, so they're saying past life card and a past life that comes in. Wow, it's really interesting. So a past life that comes in could be that you were your great great grandfather. That's really interesting. Okay, and something that happened. You were one of your past relations, and something that happened there is literally coming back together now for you to look at a new perspective of life and understanding that when they went through that, you are now clearing. You're clearing something that you didn't clear in that life. So, okay, so you had a past life that something wasn't cleared in, and then you come into this life with much wisdom and knowledge, and you are fully prepared, and you have everything together to be able to move through this ascension process. You are going to move through this ascension process, but there's something that was in a past life that you still are peeling away at. There's something that might come up that you're peeling away at. It's something where you were overprotecting yourself. You're overprotecting yourself. So you carried all the swords in that protection game. And now you can let go of the swords. You might still be carrying some of that in this life. So to let go of it and allow it to just be in its place for what it was in that life. No need to carry it on in this life anymore. Time to let it go. So there's something might come up for you where you just it might even feel like a memory this week that comes up for you. Or something like that. Yeah, really interesting. Oh my God, Viking 17. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate everybody's donations. Really appreciate. I really appreciate. I'm very grateful for everything in my life at the moment, and I really want you guys to follow your heart's desires, because that's all I did. I just followed my truth, my authentic self, and everything is coming up roses. And it's not to say that I don't have issues coming up, but I let them go very quickly, and I step into the next stage. And I would love to pass that on to you guys. Kia ora, Katie. So Katie comes from New Zealand, where I come from as well. I'm a Kiwi. Thank you, dear Bobby. I've definitely thought that more times than I can count. How much longer? But patience has been moving me through this journey. Yeah, it's so frustrating, isn't it, Paula? But you are on the right path, and it's only because you're grounding something really stable here. Okay. Who else have we got? Dean Thorpe. Say Dean, we have the Fall in reverse. There's something that they want you to take a leap of faith into, and you're kind of hanging on to the vines at the edge of this cliff. If I take this leap of faith, how am I going to handle it? I don't know if I could do this. So I'll just hang on to this logical mindset just in case. I'll just protect myself with this story just in case, and you're not letting it go as literally causing you to stand at the top of the cliff and not be the fall. The fall is the beginning card of something completely new. It's an unknownness. We have to literally sometimes jump into this. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm jumping, and we're just going to see where it goes. I can tell you where it's going to go, because this full card that was in reverse fell out with another card for you. It fell out with the star card. So the star card is your wish will come true, but you just need to let go enough for you to jump into an unknown territory and trust. And I know that you've done this in the past and it didn't work out, but you were still hanging on to that thread logically, trying to control your outside world. This is literally, I can't control this, but I know where I'm going. I have a I have a focus point on my end result. I'm going to jump into this unknown, and I'm going to let the universe bend to me, because what I've already said in my mind is going to happen. It is mine for the taking, because it is my passion. It comes from my heart. And when it comes from your heart and not your head, it is yours. If it comes from your head, you're hanging onto the edge of that cliff, and it will keep on knocking you around again. Okay. So yeah, if anyone wants a one-on-one reading as well, I have the link. It's the Codes to a New Reality. Just go on my website and click on that for a reading. And I also have these classes coming up. Just thought I'd quickly mention that. The next class that I'm going to bring in, at this moment, I'm feeling like it's going to be on the magical wisdom of the elementals and connecting to Gaia again through the elementals and stuff like that. I have a lot of information on that. When I met the Cherokee elder, she said that my name was Lana Wananahi, and this is the real elder. She pricked my finger and went into she said it took her ages to try to find me. She had to meditate twice because I was hiding well, but good reason. So my name was Alanawa, which meant turtle, and I carry the code on the back of the turtle to lead people through into the new world or the new dimension, or lead them into this new frequency that's coming. And I've been hiding there for a while until now. And the other word, Nanahi, meant fairy, but she came up to me later and said I was a creator of the elementals, creator of them. So I have a lot of information from the elementals on what their story was about and the magic that they can bring in, the connection that they can help us with Gaia again. And it's exciting, to bring the elementals back again. They were only mischievous because they lost their purpose, because humanity disconnected from them. So when we work well with them, everything starts to change. Anyway, enough about that. So Sarah, you have the Three of Wands has come out. Sarah, there's much growth happening for you, standing your ground, knowing where you're going. Even though everyone, see behind this person, he has like a trail of all these caravans coming up the path, and they're all going one way. You have found your way. You're finding your path. You're starting to understand who you are, and then you can become a guide for others. In the bottom of the deck, we have the Knave of Pentacles. So there could be somebody coming in to help guide you with this as well. You don't have to do anything just on your own. It will come through for you. You are also training for this. There's a training that's happening. You're training, and that's kind of cool. It's like you might be tested a bit sometimes, but it's all for purpose. It's all for purpose in the end. So yeah, that's what I feel for you at the moment. Very, very cool. Okay, let's go back here. Beneath, thank you so much. Welcome. I'm not sure if you're still here, so I'll leave that. Cherie. I so love dragonflies. Oh, thanks, Debbie. Yeah. Yeah. If anyone also wants any of my past classes, you can ask for those as well. Cherie. I know that you didn't say yes, please, but I really feel to pull a card for you. So we have the Sword of Four of Swords, and it's in reverse. I hope I'm not overstepping your boundary. I'm sure you'll be fine with this. It feels it anyway. So interesting that I said that too. And they're bringing up the fact that, oh, okay. So at the beginning, I lit this candle, and I was rushing myself, and I just got a lighter and threw it in the actual thing, trying to light it, and I burnt my thumb. And they said to me, message, do things properly. Do things properly, and everything will be fine. Do things 100% is what they're meaning. Like, go through the movements. This stagnation that you've been in that for a while, almost like you've gone through a bit of a lesson, and it was a bit tough, and so now it's been waiting in the aisle kind of thing, waiting for yourself to be collect your energy again. When you step into moving towards your goals again, they're just saying, take it one at a time, one thing at a time, and do it 100%. Just one thing at a time, do it 100%. They're bringing up, most people, and you included, have in your thoughts and your logical brain, a lot of things juggling, a lot of balls in the air. And then you're like, which one do I go for next? I got to do this. Put them all down on the ground. Trust your intuition in the moment. I feel like picking that ball up. Be with it 100%. That story, do that 100%. I feel at the moment to do the dishes. Do it 100%. Okay, I feel my daughter and I can have some quality time. Do it 100%. They really appreciate that. And it doesn't take as long too when you're with them 100%. Okay, I feel like, whatever, doing some gardening now. And they just want you to do whatever it is, do it 100%. Go through your life, filing the files or whatever it is that you're doing, 100% be there. It feels nicer for starters. You don't have all this hoo-ha in your head, and you're present in the moment. And the clarity that comes with it means that everything goes smoothly and everything gets done, and you feel really good after. So that's for you. Okay, I will leave it here, guys. I love you heaps, and until next Tuesday, where I will repeat this all over again for the next new energies that are coming. Don't forget, on Thursday, I also have a chat bar on Thursday up when I'm doing channeling. So if you do have some questions on the ascension process, or, we can go into the extraterrestrials and telepathy and all that sort of stuff. But that's where I like to focus my attention on, into moving into creating a new world and what the new world looks like, and bringing the past of Atlantis, Lemuria up, and all that sort of stuff. It's all fun and juicy. Anyway, you can go online and ask questions. Sometimes I'll just be focused in on the channeling, and then I'll flick onto the chat bar after and see who's had a couple of questions, and I'll see if I can answer those for you. So that's on Thursday morning, same time as this. And until next time, guys, love you all. Thank you so much for the donations. Really, really appreciate that. Okay, bye.